What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today this is going to be part 2 of our multi-part series on Planet Crafter. So if you guys haven't watched the last video, make sure you guys go see it. It will be linked in the description. So where we left off basically is we got our oxygen tube crafted, we have our heat going, we have 2 mines giving us some pressure, and we're slowly increasing our terraformation index. It's at 812 right now. We're getting close to that 1,000 mark. But as you can see in the top left, we need to be at 175,000, so we're very far from that. As I said in the last video, we left off needing to get this progress screen. So we need our heat to get up on par. So for now, that's going to take a little while. So instead of crafting more heaters, I say we should focus on unlocking the tier 2 heater. In order to do that, we need to get our oxygen up. So we can craft some more veggie tubes, but these require these seeds to work. And that was our only one. We don't have any more. So I think the next thing we should do is just go out and loot the map, search around. These ships over there have good loot in them. There's one more over there back on the hill, and we can try to maybe loot some crates and find some seeds. That way we can increase our oxygen. So in order to do that, let's grab some oxygen capsules. That way we don't run out of oxygen. And I believe we can do a little method, which I like to do when I'm going for far distances, is craft these living compartments throughout the map as little safe spots in between. So since this ship is probably a little far and there's no oxygen in the ship, a good idea is to go as far as I can and craft a living compartment. That way I can get in and out, get my oxygen, and go back in. And it's kind of a little go-between, and that way I can loot easily. So to craft the living compartment, I need 2 iron and a titanium, but I also need a door, so I need 3 iron and 2 titanium, and I already have a silicone. So 2 titanium. Alright, so we're at the ship. As you can see at the bottom, we just unlocked the tier 1 solar panel, so that's going to give us a little better energy than the wind turbines, so we're definitely going to want to be crafting that. But for now, let's go ahead and set up our little outpost, so let's make that and a door. So now we can go in here, get full oxygen, and explore the ship. So these ships get pretty dark. I don't have a flashlight yet, I don't think. So let's just go ahead and try to make this quick. It's gonna get pretty dark for you guys, and I'm sorry about that. I don't have a flashlight yet. We did unlock the tier 2 veggie tube, so that's good. Here we go. We found a locker. We found a space suit. So these are just cosmetics. They don't really do anything for us. A container in here. Blueprint microchip. So this is actually used to unlock a random blueprint in the blueprint screen without necessarily having the requirement. So we can't unfortunately pick which one we use. So we can't get through here. We have to destroy this. So we're going to need some more microchips. So I think this is maybe a little premature exploration. So let's go back, and we got a blueprint microchip. Maybe we'll get something good out of that. Let's go ahead and get our oxygen back up and make our way back to the base. Alright, we're back in the base. So we're going to be needing a deconstruction microchip, which we can actually craft right now. So let's do that. And we're going to need a torch. So we need 1 silicone and 2 magnesium. So we don't have any of that. Let's go ahead and install this microchip. And we're going to need to remove something in order for us to put the flashlight on. Most likely the construction one for now, while we're exploring. And there's going to be a way to increase the amount of slots we have. So let's go ahead, and I'm not sure what just happened here. I think I organized it. So let's go to the blueprint screen, and we have a blueprint that we found, so we can decode it. And we unlocked a mining speed upgrade for the microchip. So that's good, but not really necessary right now. We don't really need that. The exoskeleton is actually what increases your equipment capacity. So I think we can craft that. We just need a titanium, a silicone, and a magnesium. So let's go ahead and find that. Alright, so we're back at the base. We have enough things. Let me eat some food because we're running low. So now we can go ahead and craft our exoskeleton. So now we put that on there. It uses up a slot, but it gives us 4 extra slots. So now we should be able to put our construction chip back on. Alright, so now that we have our exoskeleton, we're able to put our construction chip back on. We have our deconstruction chip. Now the next thing we need is a torch chip. So we need 1 silicone and 2 magnesium. So there's some magnesium over here. Let's go get that. So now we should have enough to do this microchip. Yep. So let's go ahead and equip that, and now we have a flashlight. So now we will be able to see in the ship. We can destroy the obstacles in the ship, and we're good to go. So let's go explore, check our progress really quick. We're still pretty far from this progress screen, but we're slowly getting there. Almost at 1,000. Now we unlocked the T2 veggie tube. Let's go ahead and go find some loot. Alright, so we're back at our little outpost, getting ready to explore the ship. So let's go ahead and go in there. We'll keep our deconstruction ship active. Let's turn on our flashlight. So now we should be able to remove this. Yep, nice. And it gave us some materials. So we got 1 iron out of it. Not a lot, but it's something. And here we go. We have a seed, a 200x multiplier. We have some fabric, some more materials, some food. That food's going to come in handy. So let's go ahead and deconstruct this. Get that out of our way. Make sure we look around, look for any crates, make our way through. There's actually a tier 2 heater right there. So we can deconstruct that. And we got some materials. Nice. We're actually full. It's not good. There's some stuff in there. We're not going to loot that just yet. Let me go out here. And there's another box right there that I missed. So let's go back to our outpost. And let's craft a box. So a little chest. 1 iron. Put that there. Now we can go ahead and empty our inventory into this box as much as we can. And go back in there to get more stuff. And then we'll have to do a little back and forth between our base and the outpost. But no big deal. Let's see, we got some food here that we can grow later on. More seeds, that's actually what we want. So let's just grab everything, and then we're gonna go over here, grab this that we deconstructed, some aluminum. So aluminum is actually hard to find, but there are some spots around the map that it does spawn. Another seed. We're pretty low on space, so let's just go back, craft another box, and then we'll finish looting the ship. Alright. We're pretty low on water. Let's see if we have any ice. Maybe we do, but we actually can't craft water here. Oh well, we're gonna have to hurry it up then. Let's go inside. And like I mentioned last video, you really don't want to be looting every crate off the jump. You want to wait until you either really need to or you're further along in the process. Nice, we got another blueprint chip, because as you can see, this loot is adapted to the level that we're on right now, the terraformation index, I guess. So as we progress, we'll be able to unlock better things out of those crates. So if you don't loot them and you leave them be, when you loot them later on, they'll actually be a lot better. So I think right now we're just going to let ourselves die because we don't have any water and anywhere to make water unless we go back to the base. So let's just chill here. Our water's going to go out and we're going to pass out. And then we'll just spawn right back here, loot our stuff, and we can keep going. Alright, so we're back. We have some of our stuff. So now, let's see, let's prioritize our seeds first and foremost, and then we're also going to get our important resources. Alright, and then we'll make a couple trips back and forth. Alright, back at the base, let's make another crate. There we go. So now we can go ahead and put some of this stuff in there. Alright, let's go ahead and decrypt this chip, see what we get. Tier 1 agility boots, so those I believe help us jump better, or let me see, where is that at? Actually, I can look in the crafter. Agility boots, they increase movement speed, so that's pretty good. We have the fabric, we need 2 aluminum. We have 2. Perfect, let's go ahead and craft that then. Tier 1 agility boots, and let's equip that. So now we should be able to move a little bit faster. Let's go ahead and empty our inventory and go back for the other stuff. Alright, we need another crate. We're running out of room here. I think you can't stack them, so I think I could just put it right here. For now, I believe I can just transfer and transfer that, and now we should be able to make one more trip and get everything we need. Alright, so we have that. Now let's deconstruct our crates. I'm not sure that we really need this outpost here much longer since we looted this ship already. So let's just deconstruct it for now. We can always reconstruct one later on, but that way we get some more resources and we can go ahead and expand our base. Alright, so we're back here. Let's go ahead and unload all our stuff. We have room for now. Let me go ahead and make a living compartment right here. And that way we have a little bit more space. We can keep the stuff in here. And we can maybe move our crates into there. So let's have this right here. Make this a little chest room. We can actually maybe craft another one of these. Let's just go ahead and expand our base some more. I'm going to put that right there. So yep, we can eventually expand right here. So this can be our chest room for now. Let's just go ahead and make another one. And you can also title them. So right here, maybe we can do food, and we could have all our food in there. We could put our oxygen in there too while we're at it. Let's see. Alright, so we moved everything over here. This is the food and oxygen and seed area. We have some ores here, some random stuff here, and a little bit more ores in here. So the thing I wanted to work on was the oxygen, since that's our lowest production right now. Our pressure isn't bad, but we don't really need much right now from the pressure. We'll be getting to that pretty soon anyways. Our heat is okay. We're almost at the progress screen. Let's work on our oxygen so we can get this T2 heater. So our oxygen, we need to make a veggie tube. So we actually unlocked the tier 2 one. So let's go ahead and craft that. We need an iron, 2 ice, a magnesium, and a silicone. So let's check in here. We have a silicone. We have a magnesium. We have an iron. And we have 2 ice. We have everything we need. Whoops. One. So the T2 veggie tube. So let's go ahead and place that. We're going to place that in here for now. And then we have to add a seed in there. So let's go ahead and grab. So as you can see, the seeds have different multipliers. So this lerma seed is just a basic one. This gives 200% more oxygen than this one. And there's different ones. I think there's maybe a 500x one is the biggest one. So let's put this seed in there. So now that'll start creating some oxygen, and we can take this out, deconstruct this, and upgrade it to a tier 2. So we need 1 ice and 1 silicone. So we have a silicone, don't have any ice. So let's go ahead and grab that. Should be pretty easy to find. Yep, right here. So we can make another one here. And we're out of power. I'm not going to use this lerma seed. I'm just going to add another one of those. And now we need to make some more power. So for the power, instead of making those wind turbines that only give 1.2, I think we should go ahead and make these solar panels. We can deconstruct these to get our iron that we need. And then 2 cobalt and 1 silicone per. So let's do 2 cobalt and 1 silicone, 2 cobalt, 1 silicone. So that's enough for 2, and then we're going to deconstruct 2 drills, 1 and 2, and then make our solar panels. Yep. So now that should be enough, and then eventually, basically the whole goal is to craft the one that you're on. So for example, we're on wind turbines. Then once you unlock the next better item, you remove all the ones that you have and upgrade to the better tier. And you do that for the drills and everything, because when you deconstruct things, you don't lose what you put into it. You get all the materials back, so that'll help you get the materials you need for the next tier, etc. So now we have 2 of these. Our oxygen is going up pretty fast, and if we look at here at 1, we're going to get the indoor ladder, so we can start expanding our base upwards, which is nice. And we're going to get the tier 2 heater at 1.85. So we're getting there pretty quick. It's going up pretty fast. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until that's done, and then I'm going to put tier 2 heaters. So I'll remove all of these, upgrade them to tier 2, and so for now, while we wait on that, let's go ahead and add more solar panels. So we're going to upgrade our wind turbines to solar panels, and I think the next best thing is to also upgrade our drills maybe. So tier 2 drills unlocks at 1.20. We're getting there close. So for now, let's just work on our solar panels. Alright, so we unlocked our indoor ladder. So let's go ahead and keep upgrading our power output. So we need some cobalt and some silicone. So let's stack up on that. It's 2 cobalt and 1 silicone per item. These things are already broken. I guess they must be from a meteor. Just gonna go ahead and pick that up. So 2 cobalt and a silicone per item. So we have 2 cobalt, 3 cobalt. We need 4 cobalt, and where's silicone? Here we go. Aluminum, we'll take that. Running out of room, so let's be selective here. So right now we can craft 2 solar panels. If we get 1 more cobalt, we can craft 3. So let's get 1 more cobalt in here. Alright, so let's put that there, this one here, and this one here. And I think that's all we had, yep. So now we should have a decent amount, and let's get back in before our oxygen runs out. So now if we look at our power output, we're producing 32 and we're consuming 8, so we have plenty of room to upgrade for now. How are we looking on everything else? We're almost at the tier 2 heater, and we're getting really close to the progress screen, so we're almost there. I think I'm gonna do the T2 upgrades for the heaters and the progress screen, and then that'll be it for this video. So let's go ahead and wait for that. Let me get that in there. Here we go, we unlocked the T2 heater. So to craft that, we need 2 iridium, 1 silicone, 1 titanium, an iron, and an aluminum. So what we can do is we can go ahead and deconstruct one of these, and then we need 1 more iridium. Let's go ahead and grab all our iridium for now. We need 1 titanium and an aluminum. So now we can craft 1 T2 heater. So these take up quite a bit of space, so let's just try to maximize the space. Put that right there. Then let's deconstruct this one and see what we need. We need a titanium and an aluminum, so titanium in here, aluminum in here, and go ahead and place this right there. Perfect. And last one. So we need a titanium and an aluminum. We have a titanium, we don't have an aluminum. So that's going to be a little hard to get. We're going to have to go explore to find that. We did just unlock the progress screen, so let's see what we need for that. Progress screen, we need iron, silicone, cobalt. So let's get another silicone if we have it, and we don't have any cobalt. So we need 1 cobalt and 1 aluminum, and we'll be able to do the last 2 tasks of the video. So let's go ahead and we found a cobalt right here. And I believe that aluminum spawns over somewhere towards these rocks, so let's go that way and find out. Alright, so we've traveled to another biome for a second. Here's some aluminum. Let me go ahead and grab a couple. 2 will be fine for now. I want to make sure I can get back to the ship. I honestly might not make it back, but we will try. Perfect, made it back just in time. Let's go ahead and craft our last heater that we need. And that's all good. That's kind of bad placement, but it's okay. Now let's do our progress screen. We need 1 iron and 1 silicone, so iron, and we actually need 1 silicone, so let's go find that. Perfect. Alright, so let's look at our progress screen. We're gonna put that on this side. So right now we're barren, basically how we started, and the next stage is blue sky. So if you see in the top left of the screen, it says reach a blue sky. We need 175,000 terraformation index. We're at about 8,000. So we're 4.61% of the way there. So this will help keep track of how far along we are and what the next stage is, which is pretty cool. So right now we have plenty of stuff to do. Let's go ahead and make sure that all of these are good. So now we're producing 13.50 pKs of heat. So now, as you can see, everything's going up steadily except our pressure. So now our pressure's dropping a little bit. It's not dropping, but it's just not really going up as fast compared to the other things. So that's going to be our next task, is to get these T2 drills. So at 1.20 we'll be getting those. We only have 2 drills. I think the best thing to do right now is just to craft a couple more tier 1 drills just to speed that process up. So let's go ahead and grab what we need and do that really quickly. There we go. So now that should help us get to our goal a little faster. As you can see, now we're at 1.13, it's 1.14, still a little slow, but since we're going to be upgrading these as soon as I get to 1.20, then there's not really much need to craft anymore. Our oxygen is okay. So I think this is a good point to end the video. I think in the next video we'll upgrade those tier 1 drills to tier 2. Actually, we just unlocked a beacon, so this is to help us find our way. I don't really think we need that right now. We're not really going too far. So I think this is a good spot to end the video. So as always, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and make sure to turn notifications on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.